This man has never knocked nobody out cold. He's a bully. He's slow. He has no skill, no footwork. He's awkward. And I have been giving him a name. Because he fights. When he's fighting, if you ever watch him in the ring, he drags like that after his opponent. And how's a mummy gonna catch me?
And all I had to do was to go out and beat a man who had no skill, no class. Seriously, the man had no skill. I don't know why the world is so foolish to believe in him and think that I wasn't gonna win.
Well, when you say you're ready to go to war right now...
I see that guy on the street, I beat him before the fight.
You'd actually take him on before the fight?
Beat him like I'm his daddy.
All the basketball players out there, football players, they want to beat so bad, they want to get everybody. I'll go to Mars, I don't care.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, let's get ready to rumble!
Oh, help if I wasn't muted, right? Welcome to another episode of Lights Out Sports Debates, where we dare you to debate. And we tackle all manner of subjects, both new and we tackle age-old topics. And today we got a special one. I am Tperfect, joined by CW with Fame Kindo's Down podcast and the Goatcast podcast here. And today we're going to be debating, as you see, the title. This is going to be one of our new series of debates. Again, we're going to start off with who had the lowlights, the worst performances, and who also had the best performances. And obviously we're going to compare and contrast several different players throughout our series here. But today we've got 08 Lebron, okay, as you know that series, and 1973 Kareem. And hand it over to CW, introduce yourself, and tell maybe a little bit why you chose 73 Kareem, obviously without giving too much away.
All right, what's going on? This is CW from the Goatcast podcast. I chose 73 Kareem because I think a lot of times we give him a pass. We don't talk negative about Kareem hardly ever that I see. So he's had some, he's had many great series and great seasons, all of those things. But 73, he fell off a little bit, and he had a tough time against, some players that I think he should have. And based on what he did the prior year, he should have took down. So I felt like it was time that somebody, spit some negativity on Kareem when he's always, given he's always seen in a good light. So we're gonna see him have a little trouble.
Hey, that's fair, and I think that's a great point. I think Kareem's one of those names where obviously he's brought up and mentioned as being, one of the greats, and he is 100%. And it's you really haven't heard any deep dives right into maybe some of his, not so great performances. That's what we're doing here today. And welcome, John, from a GJK fan. Happy enough to grace us today and, be good enough to judge this debate. How you doing, John?
All right, how y'all doing, man?
Excellent. And, John, this is CW. Don't know if you got met, but CW, John is a wealth of basketball knowledge. And whenever I've been fortunate enough to have him judge various debates, he always has done a top-notch job.
Okay. Well, don't judge me too much because I didn't actually get to see the 73 playoffs. But
Oh, you weren't there? What do you mean? And John, you should theoretically be joined by Herm and Casual, but who knows with them? But they got tons of heads. Either way, you're good enough. Sometimes we just have one here anyway to start off, so whatever. But CW, you have been here before, chopping it up, and we know. But I customarily give the non-host the choice of whether or not you want to go first. So, which one would you be?
I'm gonna go first. I like to get started off so I can
That's
make
fair.
my opponent sweat a little bit. I don't know about this one, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna make it sweat a little bit. So
That's I'm already sweating, so it's fine. John, any chance you could do a stop or timer for us, or?
Yeah. How many minutes per round y'all doing?
Sure. Now, CW, I noticed that you did 5 last time, but I don't want to. Do you want to do 3 or 4? Which one's better for you?
You better charge.
I can do 3. I can do 3.
3?
Yeah.
I think 3 is good. We're doing three 3-minute rounds there, John.
I got you.
Awesome. Give me a sec there. I'm just gonna check in
I
on.
may have to speed through some of this, but
Yeah, I think that 2 is too short, and 3 I think is that good balance. Between just try to cut some of the trim off of your.
I try to get it out there pretty quickly. Yeah, because if you go too long, it's like you start rambling sometimes.
Yeah.
I always thought 3 minutes was the perfect amount of time.
Yeah, definitely the perfect amount of it. So, oops, hold on 1 second. That's not what I want to do at all. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move over here. 1 second here. All right, and we're going to have everyone here, no problem at all. But whenever you want to start off, CW, just go ahead, and just a reminder for people just hopping in. This is a debate, not of all time, but just between these two people. All right. Obviously, there's different players we can discuss all the time, whatever opinions there, but this is a direct comparison between two players and why we think they were worse than whatever we're bringing to the table. And so, again, that's Lebron and 73 Kareem. So, without further ado, CW is going to be up here, and if we want to give him like a 5-second countdown, we can kick it off here.
All right.
Let me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you all why 1973 Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was a choke job, and I'm not going to say it's the absolute worst in history, but it's one of the worst in NBA history. So since most of us weren't even around back then, let's start off letting you know about these teams and players that were involved in 73. The 1973 Milwaukee Bucks were a Western Conference team back then, and they were not far removed from Kareem's first ring in 1971. They had a 60-22 record, the best record in the league that year. The team was a top 5 in offensive rating and a defensive rating. That year, they held opponents to the second least amount of points that season. They had 2 All-Stars in Kareem and Bob Dandridge, alongside an older but still capable Oscar Robinson, with another notable name in Lucius Allen, who was a solid 15.5 a night guy in 73, and he was a big-time compliment to both Kareem and Big O. Kareem was by far the best player on the team, and in my opinion, in the league, but he had enough pieces offensively and defensively to at least make it past a scrappy but inferior Golden State Warriors. Now, to the Warriors, they were led by a great big man, Hall of Famer Nate Thurman, with Rick Barry, who had come back over from the ABA and was probably their most consistent player offensively during that year. Both of them were all-stars, and they had some solid help: Jeff Mullins, Kazi Russell, Jim Barnett, and Clyde Lee. However, they were 47 and 35, 6th in defensive rating and 11th in offensive rating. So I want to kind of compare this to a team, a series more current, I would say. 2011, the Spurs against the Grizzlies in the first round, the 61 win Spurs versus the grit and grind Grizzlies. On paper, the Spurs were much better than Memphis, but their toughness and willing to follow a game plan that San Antonio could not adjust to made it look like a lopsided series. And that's kind of how this 73 Milwaukee Bucks were against the Golden State Warriors. But I will say San Antonio didn't have a player the caliber of Kareem on that team. So how could Golden State, a decently good defensive team, all right offensive team, basically turn Kareem into a below average shell of himself? I will go through Kareem's numbers in round 2, so that's my first round.
Oh, sorry, my bad, John. What was that?
No, he stopped. He had
Okay,
20.
Yeah, that was my first round.
Well done. Okay, and give me a countdown, John. I will start on mine.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, guys. So again, just a reminder, we're talking just 73 Kareem and 08 Braun, and just as CW emphasized. So, and again, he named their opponents: 73 Warriors versus the 08 Celtics. So I do believe that, despite what he's going to mention about Kareem's numbers and the performance thing, I believe that for many reasons, LeBron's 08 performance was was worse, and more importantly, more detrimental to his team success than Kareem's. Okay, so let's break it down and explain why. Coming into this series, LeBron had won the scoring title, averaging a robust 38 points per game on nearly 50% shooting, the first and only time he achieved that. LeBron also led the league in box plus minus, VORP, and PER that year by wide margins. Okay, he was 4th overall in MVP voting. He was first team All-NBA, All-Star, etc. Coming into that series, LeBron had put on a masterclass versus the Wizards to the tune of 30 points, 9.5 assists, and 8 rebounds on nearly 50% shooting. Okay, he also he also easily led his team in scoring every game. Okay, dominated the Wizards. He was also the second most efficient starter on the Cavs next to Zunos Ilgauskas, despite attempting double those field goals during the course of that series. But the Celtics, and obviously we know the Celtics were a great defensive team. However, that being said, the C's in that series jumped out to a 2-0 lead in large part because Braun was historically ineffective. Okay, and games 1 and 2, so in games 1 and 2, now this can't be overstated. He shot 8 for 42. Okay, even in the Cavs games 3 and 4 wins, James still shot 32% from the field overall. Okay, the majority of the series. Eventually, that poor start proved too much for the Cavs to overcome, and the Cavs lost in 7. But let's dive deeper. All told, in games 1 through 4, LeBron shot just 20 for 78, good for just 25%. Okay, almost a 50% decline from his league average, or from his yearly average. Okay, easily the worst percentage of any starter on both teams through 3 games. Also, consider that game 1 ended with just a 4-point margin in the Celtics' favor, despite Ray Allen and Paul Pierce combining for just 4 points. Why? Because LeBron James had arguably the worst playoff game, not only of his career, but arguably league history, at least compared to other greats. He went 0 for 6 from 3 and chipped in for 10 turnovers, all right? And that was in addition to going 2 for 18 shooting, okay? Also with 8 of those 12 points coming from the charity stripe. 11% field goal percentage overall, okay? By far the most, again, also the turnover mark was by far the most on either team. Game 2 was another disaster, shooting just 25% from the field, while again leading both teams in turnovers with 7. Okay, now there is some context, and say obviously the Cavs would go on to push the series to 7 games. Okay, but I'm ready to go ahead and pause, and then next we're going to discuss why it definitely should not have even gotten that far. It wouldn't have if LeBron had not been historically bad. Okay, and with that, I cede my rest of my time.
All right, so I'm ready for the countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so '08 LeBron, I would say this. Yes, it may be considered a meltdown or a choke job, but the difference is LeBron hadn't even won an MVP. This is back-to-back MVP. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was the Finals MVP in '71. And in '73, he had another stellar regular season with a stat line of 30.2 points per game, 16.1 rebounds, and 5 assists per game, winning the scoring title and being runner-up in MVP voting. So you could call him one of the GOATs of that time. So that's why this is a bigger choke job. He was an all-star. He was all-NBA first team. You could no doubt call him the best player in the league and begin to etch his name in the GOAT debate in just his third. Well, this would be his fourth season. He had one of the better point guards during that time, even a bit past his prime. Oscar Robertson was dropping around 16 points and 8 assists, along with 20 points from Bob Dandridge. Kareem's field goal percentage was a stellar 55% during the regular season, and for advanced metric people, he had 28.5 PER, which led the league that year, and also led the league in offensive win shares, total win shares, and win shares per 48 minutes. He was basically unstoppable. And on top of that, had played Nate the prior season in '72 and was able to gentleman sweep those Warriors out the playoffs. Even though, Nate gave him problems in those games. 1972 is excusable, though, as he was only 3 years into his career, but falling apart against the same team. Basically, they had dominated the year before. He can't get a pass for that. Kareem went from 30.2 points on 55% shooting in the regular season to 22.8 points on 43% in the series with Golden State. A massive drop for a guy with a near unguardable signature shot. Nate figured him out and was physical, and Golden State wings made sure to pressure Milwaukee's guards, John McLaughlin and Oscar and them, and made it hard for them to dump the ball off to Kareem. They had a game plan, and Kareem, as good as he was and is, could not adjust to their pressure. Kareem and them had a 2-1 lead early in that series and lost 3 straight games due to the inefficiency of Kareem. And I say the inefficiency of Kareem because had he held even close to his regular season scoring average, they would have likely won, as 3 of Golden State's wins were decided by 5 points or less. And I'll concede my time there.
Okay.
All said.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time.
All right, so just to touch on a little bit of what my opponent said, there's no doubt that both of these players took steep declines and drops compared to the regular season averages from not only that season, but multiple years before and then since. No one's debating that. However, I did give you the numbers that prove that, again, while that series was still relatively winnable before there was a gigantic hole created by his play, LeBron James was not only worse than Kareem was in '73 in basically every term, scoring throughout the first 4 games, field goal percentage was abysmal. Again, efficiency, especially efficiency-wise. Again, Kareem, I believe Kareem shot about 42% from the floor from that series, but LeBron shot 35%. Again, that was nearly I believe that was almost a 20% drop in his, maybe like a 15% drop in his overall percentage from the regular season. Abysmal. And again, just to hammer some of these points home, in game 1, he's just 12 points on 2 for 18 shooting, okay, for 11%. And then throughout the first 4 games, again, 20 for 78 for just 25%. These were games that could have been won. Now, as previously discussed, despite that series did go 7 games. Okay, why is that? Okay, this is for numerous reasons. Firstly, credit where it's credit due. Okay, LeBron would improve upon his disastrous first 4 games with relatively solid performances in game 5 through 7, where he would average 35 points per game on a much improved 40% clip. However, by all rights, this should have either been a sweep or a gentleman's sweep in the Cavs' favor. Consider, for example, despite LeBron's historic inefficiency, the Cavs still comfortably took games 3 and 4 by wide margins, thanks to a stifling deep. Now realize this: the Cavs were playing out of their minds. Their offensive and defensive rating were nowhere near what Celtics were coming into that playoff series. Okay, however, so they were outmatched, but they were playing at an elevated level. Okay, now that basically, again, the Cavs still comfortably took games 3 and 4, as we said, by wide margins, thanks to a stifling team defense and solid, efficient performances from unsung players like Joe Smith, Zerbiak, Ilgauskas, Anderson Varejao. Obviously not household names, but guys who were stepping up. Okay, Delonte West. These players combined to average nearly 79 points per game on 49% shooting throughout the first 4 games of that series, while holding Boston to just 82 points per game on average, down from the 100 during the regular season that they averaged. Okay, so we see that LeBron's teammates were not only holding their own against a far better on paper Celtics team, but also making sure that those Cavs were in winnable games. Okay, now also it's probably going to be just that I want to do acknowledge that the Celtics obviously had a fantastic defense, but okay.
You ready, CW?
Oh, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time.
Okay, so now I'm going to go through how this choke job measures up to some other greats. Kareem was so good in his career. His name is only mentioned with the greats. So you mentioned him with Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, so on. And I believe outside of LeBron's 2011 finals, and I'll give you maybe the 08 collapse, maybe Wilt's 69 collapse to Bill Russell, but he was injured part of that. We rarely see these guys that are commonly debated in the GOAT debate just flat out suck in the playoffs. They'll have bad games or a bad couple games, but absolutely getting owned by another player, albeit a great Hall of Fame player, but not one that should be mentioned with his name. To me, it's the definition of a choke job. And Nate Thurman, of course, is a Hall of Famer, and as good as he was and is, he's not in the same league as Kareem. Yet, and his numbers, that playoffs in 73, he averaged, I think, 14.5, 13 rebounds. So not, nothing that jumps off the page. And he used the same defensive scheme through 72 and 73 to slow Kareem down, who for whatever reason did not make adjustments or read what he was doing and either try to get his teammates going or try something slightly different. All Nate Thurman did was play physical defense and stick to his right arm where, so he couldn't really get the sky hook off. His assists went from 5 a game in the regular season to just 2.8 in the playoffs, which again, we had at least come close to his average. The games decided by 2 and 3 points, which were 2 of them, would have been Milwaukee wins, and they would have won the series. And as the scoring leader that season, having games with 18, 19, and 22 points as their key scorer is not going to cut it. We have the most unstoppable offensive weapon, the sky hook, in the game. And as a GOAT and a leader of the team with respectable help and playing a team that they had basically had little to no problem with in that regular season, they beat the Golden State Warriors 5-1 in the regular season. The fact they could only manage 2 games against them, and really it was the effective defense against Kareem himself that lost the Bucks those games, in hindsight, tells me that was one of the all-time choke jobs and a blemish to Kareem's otherwise, in my opinion, GOAT career. So that's my final round.
Okay.
All right, I'm all set, John.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, I'm going to tie together how, again, the 2 players from their different series related to each other as far as, we talked about the numbers. You heard the numbers from Kareem relative to his team. from CW, and I just obviously went over them thoroughly with LeBron, how he had historic inefficiency, how he was basically leading to his team being out of games through 1 through 4, despite them winning 2 of them. And again, that was in no small part due to his teams elevating their performances. But what about Kareem and his teammates? Now, he says that Kareem's team was losing multiple games of that series because of him. But is that true? Let's go through it. Kareem may have had an overall dip in his numbers compared to his fantastic regular season. That's true. But he was still, unlike LeBron, arguably the best player in that series from the start. Game 1, he tied with 3 other players for a game-high 22 points and easily led both teams in rebounds with 24. In Game 2, it was the same story. Kareem once again led the way with game highs in points and rebounds with 26 and 15 respectively, while also being tied for the team lead in assists. Yeah, the reason the Bucks lost was because they in Game 2 was because they had no answer for journeyman Casey Russell, who led the team with 25 points on 48% shooting. Also, Oscar Robertson and Bob Danger didn't do the Bucks any favors, as they were just a combined 9 for 29 from the field. All told, Kareem would lead the Bucks in scoring and rebounding in all but 1 game of that series. He was also 3rd in assists per game and was 3rd in overall efficiency out of any Bucks player who logged at least 200 minutes that series. Now, obviously, Kareem had his low points, specifically in games 3 and 5, just 33% shooting. Now, but for a bit of context, Kareem was still producing on a reasonably high level in that series versus one of the best defensive big men in league history in prime Nate Thurman, who had just come off a series where he made another all-defensive team and finished top 10 in MVP voting. Okay. Now, as we previously touched on, consider the performance of the supporting cast during these series. As I mentioned before, Kareem was consistently average to very good in virtually every aspect relative to his team that series. Not so with LeBron. For starters, his 35% overall efficiency was by far the worst on his team out of any player who logged at least 100 minutes outside of Wally Zerbiak. Okay. Also, his 23% three-point shooting mark was the worst on any team, was the worst on the team for any player who attempted at least 10 for the series. Lastly, LeBron's 37 turnovers easily led both teams and is still the record for most ever in a single playoff series. Okay. In summary, Kareem's team was losing despite his performance. LeBron's team was losing because of his. And that's it.
All right.
All right. I want to tell both of you guys that was great debate and a great breakdown of the series from each player. So I want to tell both of you guys, you both did a great job.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Is somebody else on here?
Yeah, Herman's here, and but you were first up, so you can by far break it down if you want. And well, first before we do that, get to the judges. CW, what do you think of the overall debate and the points you made, points I made, and how do you think it's going to go?
I thought it wasn't my best work, but I thought I did okay. That last round, man, I was impressed. You kind of laid into Kareem and kind of proving that he wasn't as bad as I tried to make him out to be. So, I thought the third round was something tough, but I thought I did well enough. I thought second round was my toughest round, so my strongest round. So I feel slightly confident.
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought you had a fantastic layout of some of the things I didn't even think of about Kareem, like relative to like his teammates and things like that. I thought you laid it out great, and I just hope it's going to go, because I think those are two really forgotten series, honestly, that I don't think anyone really talks about. At least not at length, because they're just such great players. And I've always said I don't use their lowlights to rank them because that's not fair. But it's important to talk about when you're kind of juxtaposing in the history. But let's get to the judges and see what they thought and what their overall verdicts are.
Well, Herm, I'll go first. I'm gonna tell y'all how I broke it down. Round 1, I call it even. I believe both of y'all gave out an even start off to both of your arguments, and it prepared me for the second and third rounds. I gave it even. Now, CW, I'm going to tell you how smart you are. My choices was based off everything you said. I gave you the second round, and I gave Travis the third round. I love your breakdown of the second round, CW. I had forgot some things about the 73 series. So when I was listening to you, I'm like, okay, I forgot about that. I mean, you really broke it down. And I'm sitting here thinking, hey, Travis, you gotta have a third round to really go over this because I had evened out the first round. The second round I gave to CW, and then Travis really did his thing in the third round. I mean, I hate to call it a draw, but that's exactly what I saw. I saw a draw because the way Travis did his third round, a clean. But CW did his thing in the second round. So I personally have it a draw.
That's fair. We do count draws here. We put it up there as the third digit. So that is fair. Great breakdown from you, John, and that was a very fair analysis, for sure. Herm, what did you think?
I agree with John with CW with the second round, but Travis, I felt you had the edge in the first and third round. I felt you had the edges in those. I think a CW would have harped on the type of defense LeBron had to go through for us. The Boston defense, probably one of the best defenses of all time, arguably a top 5 defense in NBA history. And harp on that a little bit more, because you kind of neutralized the Travis, but he still could have went in on it and explained. Hell, he went against one of the best defenses ever. He go struggle a little bit.
That's true.
And LeBron did make up for it in that game 7. It's just that the momentum, it just was a momentum thing in that game 7. But honestly, if he would have hopped on that more, I felt he would have took it home. But he didn't. And I think how you laid out the last round, that was just beautiful. And that first round, I gave the edge to you. It was close, but I gave the slight edge to you in the first round. So I had Travis for the debate, man. But it was a great one, though. But the CW would have focused on that Boston defense and explained why LeBron struggled against that type of defense. He could have got over the hump on that in this debate. So
Bro, I was praying that he would not do that. I was like, oh man, if he does that, I'm going to be in trouble.
Yeah, that's all he had to do. I was waiting on it, though.
Because I felt that I had to at least mention it.
I thought he was going to do that the last round. Honestly.
I was like, I better mention it just so it doesn't seem I'm being super disingenuous, because obviously top 5 defense ever, right? But I was like, please don't come in.
Yeah, you did mention it. I heard when you.
Yeah, but I mean,
it was close to me. It was really close to me.
Yeah, very close. But
yeah, and that's what I didn't do. I didn't even think to get on LeBron at all. I was just trying to focus so much on Kareem and
did a great job.
But it's not a detriment to LeBron facing that elite defense. So, like I said, if you would have focused on that Boston defense and explained why LeBron struggled, that would have neutralized Travis to a degree. That would have had him on his feet a little bit more. So Travis would have had to try to recover from that, because he wouldn't be able to explain how good the Warriors defense was to the degree to slow down Kareem. So you would have had the edge in that, honestly.
Yeah, I thought that third round was the perfect counter, and I was hoping he wouldn't harp on, the fact that Kareem was actually pretty good in that series. But I was just trying to tear him down a little bit, which ain't always easy to do. But yeah, that was.
Dude, I was scared because the second round I didn't have any meat there, because I was like, I have to present why LeBron choked in round 1, and I was trying to go in on the teammates a little bit on round 2, but your round 2 was just so much better, because you very clearly explained how Kareem had regressed, how great he was in that season, how great Nate Thurmond was, super underrated player. And what they did to slow him down, how that worked. And I was like, fantastic round 2, but I was like, I have to go in Kareem round 3. I have to just kind of boost him up a little bit.
It worked.
No, it did work. I mean, the way you even broke down how Nate Thurmond guarded Kareem, sat on his right arm the whole time to try to slow down that sky hook. I mean, that's why I said you did a great job. I mean, you forced Travis to have that third round and break it down like that. I was like, I told you. I said the way he broke down the CW, broke down that second round, Travis gonna have to come out that third round and say, I gotta empty the bullets out of this because
You have to. I was like, if I could survive to round 3.
But I thought CW was gonna take. Oh, okay. I thought the light bulb was gonna hit him because Travis actually mentioned the defense for him.
He did.
So I was like, damn, Travis blew the damn debate. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, if he had gone before me, I would have probably said some things about LeBron, but
but that just would have highlight. It just would have highlight what LeBron had to face, though. You got to think about it. That's a 5th-year player. Got to go against one of the best defenses damn near ever assembled. So
shut up, Herm.
That was a hell of a defense, man.
It really was. It really was.
Great debate. Honestly, CW took a giant W last night in a debate that he had against Royal. That was a great debate too, man. It was Hakeem versus Duncan. That was top form out of CW.
Player, so I had to show up for that. I had to.
Yeah. Great.
Robert Ory said that King was 10 times better than Duncan.
Yeah, that's what Rowe.
Yeah, they said that like 30 times last night.
I agree. I agree, though. I agree with Robert Ory.
Oh no, like I said, I told CW because I was
10 times better than Duncan.
Yeah,
I don't know about 10 times. I was.
I'm gonna tell you the unique thing with Duncan, as great as he was, though, really after 2005, he actually slowed down because he had that bad knee tendonitis, so he wasn't the same elite guy anymore. So he had to kind of play a role, which he started doing. And Greg Popovich did a hell of a job too to build the scheme to, to salvage the rest of Tim Duncan's career too, though. So.
It's like because I was judging that debate last night, and I was like, even though I have Hakeem ahead of Duncan, it's not about what you believe; it's like what you can prove, right? And like CW was like, you know what, just had all the facts going. It was great.
He did. King Rose sometimes, get in his own way sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes.
All the time. Shout out to Keith Speak.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what to say to them? Well, that being said, though, again, we super duper appreciate John and Herm coming up, and you guys obviously I haven't told you this yet, John, but this is going to be where anyone can pull up and call anyone out to debate about anything, and we're going to have various things where we just show up and just talk about various sports things throughout the week, and like I said, anytime I'll be reaching out to you guys again just to be guests if you want at all times and a judge, because I know you guys have always, I say this a million times, but you guys are two of the most knowledgeable people that I know as far as basketball knowledge, player interaction, and you guys have the thing I value about you guys the most is like you give very objective takes, very unbiased, and I think that's what's going to drive interaction a long way. And especially John.
I appreciate that.
You guys are awesome.
I appreciate it. So when do y'all come on? I mean, what day?
So I'm going to be doing a series just kind of what I was doing on GGK. It's like a debunked show where I just sit down and kind of chew over some bad narratives. I'm trying to do that at Fridays around prime time, just because that's when everyone's off and whatever, And then we're trying to get interaction on Saturdays and Sundays with different things, but mainly on we're going to have debates throughout the week, but mainly Fridays and Sundays are when we're going to have our main thing as far as just the show I do, where anyone can jump on and talk to me about different topics that I bring up. And then Sunday's going to be usually our double header debates that we do. And I realize you're probably busy at that time, but on Fridays and throughout the week, we'll hit you up and you'll be a valued member for whatever you choose to do.
Anytime you need me and I got the time, I got your back, Travis.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, same here. Hey, Travis, this one guy I want to call out because he was talking a lot of trash in the comment section about a debate I did with Dart about Bob Cousy, Oscar Robertson. Rex, you be talking a lot of trash, Rex.
Who was it?
You go, Rex. Rex need to come out of hiding. You need to debate, Rex. I want to smoke with you, Rex. I want to smoke with you, dinosaur. You a dinosaur. I want to smoke with the dinosaur.
Hey, if you could get Rex to debate you, that'll be a first, because obviously he just sits there and talks with Dart, but I will pass it along that you want the debate smoke, and I would love to see that.
Hey,
I'd love
100%.
to see that too.
Hey,
I'd
Dart,
definitely
make
love to
that
see
happen, Dart. Get Rex.
Yeah, he
Get
will.
Rex to come out.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he
Rex.
can. Dude, me and John will be happy to judge that.
Yeah, easy, Judge. Yes,
I'll
I'd
judge
be ready.
Yeah, we'll see. Good CW in there too. That would be. I would pull up just to watch
Man,
that happen.
Rex not retired from debates. Rex ducking the smoke. That's what he known to do. Duck the smoke. Hey, Rex, come out and play, cause I'm a cook you. I'm a cook you,
Ooh.
dinosaur. I'm a cook you, little dinosaur.
You heard it here first, Rex. Get out here. But yeah, I mean, I would love to see that. I think we all would love to see that because obviously he's encyclopedia. So we'll see what happened. But any further last words here before we cut out there? First of all, CW, the esteemed challenger, what do you got to say on the part? Plug in your channel as well.
Okay, yeah. Just appreciate you for asking me to come on here and debate. This was a tough one because, like I said, I didn't get to see it, so I had to do my research very thoroughly. I thought you did a fantastic job with that third round. I still am reeling from it because listening to it, I knew I lost that round. So, appreciate you just bringing me on. Appreciate the judges, John and Herm, for I see them as pretty unbiased. And a lot of times on here, you get guys that are a little biased, and they'll base it on the players they like or whatever. So I appreciate them being unbiased and telling us the truth. So just appreciate that. As far as the channel, I have my own channel, GoatCast Hoops, which I usually drop every week, and we have the GoatCast podcast, which we go live every Wednesday. And we have 10 Toes Down with King Speech Row every Tuesday and Thursday on the channel as well, and on his channel. So just come check us out. A lot of basketball talk. So you know how we get down over there. It might be 3-4 hours of just basketball talk. So.
Yeah, no, he's right. And I mean, great channels over there. CW does a fantastic job of moderating that. So everybody, again, go check out him and Roe over there on GoatCast podcast. And they have a variety of subjects. They do debates over there too. We're going to be collaborating with them all the time. Also, like I said, these two gentlemen down here, Herm does his own thing all the time. You can catch him a lot of times on FYF and GJK, Go James Kingdom with John. John is always there with his segment. He's always there pouring out wisdom to everyone on the show. Keeps it light and balanced, and that's why I value John so much, because he's awesome and he's a wealth of info. And so everyone. We're going to be doing it all again this weekend, and we're looking next week for more content that we're just starting to build around here. And like I said, this is Spot the Debate. Call anyone out anytime, much like you heard Herm did. And we'll see how that goes. And like I said, this has been Lights Out. And John, last words from you.
No, I appreciate this. When you had told me about it and you messaged me earlier about it, that's why I asked you what when I saw what it was today. I said 73. I said, "Ooh, I did. I want to go back and do some research on 73." So
I had to.
I told you I love CW. Hey, don't bring yourself down. The way you broke down that second round is that's classic, and you did a great job. So again, y'all two did a great job, and Travis always knows how to pick up his game, and I watch him debate plenty of people, and when they step it up, he steps it up even higher. So, I told Travis once a long time ago, he lost a debate, but it was only reason he lost the debate is because what it was about. Mm-hmm. Because if it wasn't particularly that, Travis watched, and he know who I'm talking about. He watches that, and Travis always steps it up, and when he gets angry, he really brings this up.
Travis a great opponent, man. You go against Travis, you got to come with it, though. You got to come with it. Respect. And King John, I do respect your basketball knowledge, man. You do bring the balance, like Travis said, man. I know we clown each other for here and there, just all fun and games.
Hey, Herm, I respected you when you didn't even know about me. And I've heard you talk. I've heard you break down basketball. I know you troll a lot, but when you don't do the troll, when you talk basketball, I don't know too many people better. And I've always wanted to tell you that.
I appreciate that, brother.
Not too many people. That's why when you say something, a lot of times I'm quiet and I just listen. because I'm gonna learn something. So
Yeah, I don't want no Herm Smoke. Usually, he's a tough guy to debate.
hey, Herm, if ain't nobody ever told you this, you need to write a book, bro.
I
I'd read it.
appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that for real, though.
For sure. I mean, obviously, great minds over here. So, love it. Shout out to the chat. Hey, first time in Iron Man. Awesome. Thanks for pulling up, man. Obviously, he's a figurehead in FYI GGK. He's all over the place. We like him. He has good takes and got rolling the building. So, appreciate everyone showing up. And like I said, we're going to have lots more interaction. So, this has been another episode of Lights Out Debates, where we dare debate. And again, this has been heard all the takes, and these are some gentlemen. We'll see you again pretty soon. So everyone else, though, have a fantastic day, and we'll see you around.
All right.
All right.